What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Petrolhead Visions 1879. Guys, please, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, like this video, and turn those notifications on for the next videos to let you know that actually the new videos are coming out. And also today we're talking about one particular thing, and a few other things is the new modification I've done to my Harley Davidson Vrod. Guys, this is insane, this modification. It was easy in a way to explain to you guys now, but it was hard for me because I had to actually do a bit of trial and error to find out how to connect certain things together. But without further ado, let's get straight to it and let me show you what has been going on. Just as cool as they look, you know, stock from Harley Davidson, they've got the stem with the indicators inside of them, and you've got the mirror also over here. Now you can actually invert the mirror itself if you want to do so. In my opinion, that looks a lot more cooler with the mirrors underneath the steering wheel, the handlebars, which I've done on my bike. So this is what I've done on my bike. Now, the mirrors over here underneath. I've got some black mirrors. They've got a nice tint as well on the actual mirror itself. And I just think it really transforms the look of the bike itself when you're sat on the bike. It just looks cool. And also the handlebars look a lot more smoother, a lot more slick as well, and also the handlebars tie nicely with the... So guys, let's run through what we got to do to take these indicators off now, and these stems and the mirrors itself. So first of all, sorry, you haven't got to take off the actual console of the instruments at all, on the actual handles itself. All you have to do is basically underneath is unloosen this bolt, and then what will happen is this will fall out and this will end up being loose on the actual handlebar. So this will end up being loose, and then don't panic, as you can see right here. Don't panic. You actually have to cut the wire here, and cut it where you can leave yourself a bit of leeway, right? So cut it off because you need to. This here runs into the actual stem itself. So cut that, put some electrical tape on it, and then push it into the console itself. So when you want to possibly make it reversible, which this modification can be, you can then basically undo the actual console and then pull this wire down, and then actually just link the wire back up, and then put a little bit of tape underneath it. You solder it, put a bit of tape on it, and then it's done, smashed out. Right, so cut that off and then electrical tape it on the end, push it out, and this here will pull straight through over here. Right, so you pull it straight through. That's only one bolt here, just one. I did the whole thing because I didn't know what I was doing. There's no YouTube video on this. So one bolt, and then basically you have then got to, you will have the mirror out. You then got to undo these bolts here, just these ones over here. Nothing else, just these ones here, and the top ones over here. So the next thing is, as soon as you removed all 5 bolts over here, you pull this up just like this, and then it slots out of place on this lip, which is just over here. You can see on my finger, right? Put this down in a safe place because you don't want to end up scratching this as well. So put it in a safe place. So I'll do so over here. Then, simple things here now. So what I had to do is actually find out where the indicators actually, from here, come down onto the wires here, and there's so many wires here. Now what you've got to do is you've got to make sure, well, you haven't got to do any much really, because I'm going to show you exactly what to do, but I had to remove every single one of these actual pods out of the sectors over here for the connectors on the actual wires, and then I had to actually the indicators on to see for trial and error which one was the indicators. Now the one that's the indicator is this here. This is the module for the turn signals, and then basically these connect over here, and what you can do is you basically pull, you see this over here, you push that down and you simply just slot it out. Just literally hold on to each one here and slot it out, and that'll just give you a bit more leeway on holding and moving this around as well. Okay, now what I had to do is, what you can do is you can buy a component that will probably, you'll end up getting your indicators. The ones I have is 2 wires, a negative and a positive. You can then connect into this over here from Harley Davidson, an actual component that will go straight in, and then have a male to male, a male to female, again, because you need obviously to connect the indicators to these wires here. right? Because these are the power and the ground cable, right? So connect them in, and then this will then feed into the new component you just bought. Now what I did is a cheaper version is I tapped into the wires, and what I did was I just stripped the wire back on the brown, the far cable over here. So the far cable over here, which is this one here, and also the cable next to it. So it's the first two cables on my right. So on my right, so 1, 2, that's the two cables. The ground cable's on the far right, then the power cable for the left indicator is the one just on the left of the ground cable. The violet one, like you can see over here, the violet one is your right turn signal. So make sure when you connect for the component or to the wires, you connect the right turn signals onto the actual wires or on the component itself. Because if you obviously have left and right on each one, you can't just turn it around. You have to change all the wires back around, because the ground cable has to be on the right hand side over here. Then basically what I had to do was I attached the wires. So the wires you can see over here, I attached them obviously around inside, fed them through, and made sure I had enough slack where I can actually make sure that it's not going to pull on any of these wires here. So make sure you don't make it too tight, have a bit of slack, and then tidy up the wires when putting the wires in, and then basically just leave this tucked in, and maybe electrical tape it up slightly to make sure it's all in, and then Bob's your uncle, it's done. But remember, it is the first wire on the right is the ground cable, the second wire on the left of the ground cable is your left turn signal, and your violet color is your right turn signal. That is how the wires are connected for your indicators. And then as soon as you do that, it is completed. And that is it, guys. That is simply it. You attach it all together and you're done. Now if I was doing it with knowing this, I'd have probably done it in half an hour. I spent about 4 hours doing it because I had to actually find out where the wires go to and what I'm looking for. I had no idea what I'm looking for, and I just saw on the box saying turn signal for, you know, for the indicators obviously, and I slotted those the actual components out, and it just turned off. The next thing is you have to, if you have these mirrors from stock, if you bought the Harley Vrod from stock like this with the LED headlights, LED indicators, you have to buy LED indicators. These are LED, because if you don't buy LED indicators, then you have to buy relays and whatever they are, and it becomes a whole different job. If you don't have to buy LEDs, then that's absolutely fine. Purchase the non-LED indicators and it will work perfectly. But make sure you have either one of those to connect up, because if you don't, it will flash, and like an indicator is broken on your car or whatever, it will flash really quickly, like really quickly. But hopefully I will do a mod to my brother's bike so I can add on to what we have to do to make sure you understand exactly. But really, with that information, you should know exactly what to do now. And I hope you guys get it done if you're doing this. It's a seriously cool mod. You can see it's perfect, big, bulky, slick, and obviously no yellow over there. It's sweet. So if you have any questions, please put in the comments below, guys, and I'll get straight back to you, obviously, because this is something that maybe a lot of riders want to do that, but there's no video out there that is possible to do the turn signals on a Vrod that you would know about. And it works perfectly. Even when I turn the indicators on, turn left, the indicator turns off automatically. It is sweet. I got no worries. I was so happy with myself that I got it done. The best one I've done so far, because it was so complicated from my my side of things, because I've never worked with wiring and all that kind of stuff, and looking for certain things that lead up to that. And it's quite a tough thing to look for, because the indicators are built into the stems and it runs through, and you can't actually see a lead that releases from the indicators in the mirror straight down into the components. So now you know. Assuming people do this a lot anyway, if you get it done professionally anyway. For the mirrors that I got done, the bit that actually connects onto the thread piece that goes through the actual the handle itself was too thick. So all I had to do was get a drill piece and actually drill and make the actual inside a bit wider. It wasn't massive, you know. I did some research and checked it up and asked someone about this as well, And basically you can get a different thread piece for this actual piece, but I couldn't wait any longer really. And the drill piece I had fitted directly inside, and I just maneuvered it round to make the actual handle piece here a bit wider, and it slots straight through. Now you can buy these these actual mirrors itself if you want to, which the link in the description is underneath. But I've seen a lot of Harley V-Rod owners have the same mirrors as this, and I'm really thinking that they either get a different thread piece, they go straight through the actual handle selector bit here, the actual hole. But also I think I can find some underneath that actually fit this area too, to make sure you can get the right piece in. I had a bit of difficulty here, had to modify the actual hole itself. However, it hasn't done anything bad to the actual handles at all. There's no leads, there's nothing there. It's just a straight hole, and I only increased it by probably a mil, I think, at the most, and it went straight through. But yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that's how they probably also modify it to make sure it fits. So that's what I did. The rest of it was all fine. The indicators went on fine. Just the cable tie, I have to clip this piece here. So you actually put this piece through. I'm just gonna take the actual light out and then clip this off, so it's there for life, obviously. If you do have to install new ones onto new forks, if you put new forks on, you're gonna have to actually remove this and probably put some new 3M tape on the inside, and then reinstall it yourself or buy new ones. But I'm gonna try and obviously actually tell a lie, you can't do that because it's cable tied on here. So therefore you will have to buy some new ones if you do install new forks, or anything to change the indicators around and actually adjust them for some new design on the forks itself. So make sure you understand that if you buy new forks in the future, very close up, don't put the indicators just on yet, wait. Or if you're not, then just put them on. Obviously you can get these ones for the rear, and you connect them exactly the same on the links on the indicators, unless I can find a different way to install them with the wires that are in the back of the actual indicators themselves. I'm looking to maybe get a full LED brake light, which is completely just red, or if it does integrate with, I've seen some of them actually have indicators but they're completely red and see-through, and just gives it a better look for the back of the bike itself. Or you can then get just a whole new red brake light itself, and then install the indicators on the top mount of the actual suspension rear forks, if you can see them. With this here, I'm not sure, because I don't think you can see the actual indicator very well because of the license plate holder. So that will be obviously changed if I do that to a different license plate holder over here, like the American style, which I love and I think are insane. But that's in the near future. But maybe the wheels be sprayed the color. I might be going wild with the color as well, something completely different, because that's how I just like to do something to my bike or my car. But also it's a risk, but we will see what color I do go for. That does go with the red and black theme. I just don't want to do anything that is exactly the same as the crowd. I don't follow the crowd at all. I like to be a lot different with changing things on the car, on the bike, and it's your personality. It's your bike, your car. So do what you feel that you want to, and if people don't like it, that's fair enough. Accept it, because people don't like certain things, which they don't like the tie stickers, but I love it. And do you know what? There's people that love it and there's people that hate it, and I don't really mind because I love it. And that's what you got to think about if you're doing things to your items, your house, your car, whatever it might be. If you love it, no one will understand it. If they don't like it, that's just because you love it. Comment below if you need any questions, if you need to ask any questions, and I'll get straight back to you guys. I've got my phone, my notifications on, so please do this mod and enjoy it. Cheers, guys.